wasn't very ASMR-y, but I wanted to do something different for all of you, and I hope you enjoyed. Welcome to the second arc of our series, or the second part of our series, which is the winter stories. So it's very similar to our tea with the teddy bear series, in which I just tell some stories and you listen and enjoy my soft whispers. Except this series, it's all about winter stories. Even we changed the vibes. Yeah. So let's begin with the winter stories arc. And today's story is titled The Little Pine Cone's Quiet Wish. As always, the stories are 3 chapters. They are all fictional. They are not meant to be taken seriously or in any way. They are just meant for entertainment and fun. Let's go. Chapter 1: The Quest for the Softest Fluff. Pip was a small brown pine marten with an enormous love for winter naps. Outside his tiny snug bureau, the world was a silent blanket of falling snow. Pip had a fine bed, but he decided it wasn't perfect yet. He needed a layer of the very softest, lightest, fluffiest moss to complete his cozy masterpiece. A winter's sleep should be a masterpiece, he told his friend Barnaby, a field mouse who was busy organizing his last pile of dried berries. "Be careful, Pip," Barnaby squeaked. "The snow is too deep and it's getting dark quickly." Pip strapped a tiny lantern to his head and climbed out into the quiet forest. He remembered seeing the best moss on the high north side of the great oak, where the wind kept the snow light. He followed his old little paw prints until he reached the tree. The moss was there, a huge pale green cushion of fluff, but right in the middle of it was a problem. A little robin, not flying, but huddled motionless, its tiny feathers puffed up against the cold. The robin looked miserable and seemed to be guarding the moss. "Hello," Pip whispered, stepping closer. The robin just tilted its head and let out a tiny weak chirp. It was clear the bird was too cold and tired to move. you ready for chapter 3? I bet you are. Chapter 3: The Warmest Cup. Pip quickly and carefully gathered the huge pile of soft moss. He packed it into a clean, smooth acorn shell and started the long, happy trek back to his bureau. The snow had almost stopped, and the air felt fresh and clean. Back in his den, Barnaby was worried sick. "Pip, you were gone so long. Did you get the mouse?" "I did," Pip said, happily dumping the soft fluff onto his old bedding. "But first I had to trade a gold bear some berries for it." Barnaby listened to the whole story, his eyes wide. "That was very brave and very kind, Pip. You had to give up your emergency food." Pip just smiled as he started arranging his bed. He made a deep round nest, pulling the softest moss up high around the edges. He took a small bottle of winter birch bark tea he had been saving and heated it over a small glowing ember. The moment of perfection arrived. The bureau was completely silent. The air smelled of dry pine and sweet tea, and his new bed was the softest thing he had ever felt. Pip looked at Barnaby. "The only thing missing is a companion," he said, holding out a tiny cup of warm tea. "Come, share the best nap of the season." Barnaby's face lit up with joy. He settled into the newly fluffed bed beside Pip. As they drank their warm tea, the silence was broken only by the crackle of the ember. Pip realized the most important part of a cozy winter was never the thickness of the moss or the warmth of the fire, but the shared silence with a good friend. It was the coziest feeling of all. The end. That was really fun. It's a cozy, fun, soft story. I hope you enjoyed it, besties. I'll see you again tomorrow, as promised.